Bobiso, zongisa biso na Bobiso, Boania.
Madame la Présidente, Mesdames et Messieurs les députés, la proposition de loi que nous examinons aujourd'hui a été, vous le savez, adoptée à l'unanimité par le Sénat le 29 janvier dernier. Le gouvernement comprend et partage l'objectif de ce texte de loi, rendre sa dignité à Sawtche Bartman et faire que sa dépouille mortelle puisse reposer en paix dans sa terre d'origine, en Afrique du Sud. Statue en plâtre colorié de la Vénus Hotentot, squelette de la Vénus Hotentot, portrait à l'huile de la Vénus Hotentot, encéphale conservé en bocal de Sarah Bartman, organes génitaux de la Vénus Hotentot, moulage en cire.
Cannot undo the damage that was done to her. But at least we can summon the courage to speak the naked but healing truth that must comfort her wherever she may be.
Coming to this world at a time where revolutions will shape and end up under other skies than those she used to contemplate in her mother's protective arms. Her story, which is above all our story, is revealing of the way in which the Europeans, on the one hand, considered themselves to be civilized, and on the other hand, still mistreat all the claims of African peoples as to the restitution, cultural and symbolic goods, as well as human remains of our ancestors exhibited in Western museums. In 1810, seeing the juicy opportunity, the Boers, who was exploiting her in association with a British military surgeon friend, set up a more lucrative commercial project around her. Provide a spectacular sample of colonized people for human zoos in Europe. This is what they have used, so that she would be more malleable, more docile. The hope of a mother to give a better future to her children, to her family, despite her convictions and values, at the risk of her health. For we forget it too often, but his body, with a morphology out of ordinary for Westerners, this body that will excite all lust, jealousies, humiliation is above all that of a mother who gave birth to at least 2 children. Swatche, who is fluent in Khoi and Dutch, must now remain silent, shouting her here and there in order to perfect the role she is asked to play. She is now given the name Baartman, attached to her first surrogate name. Name given to her, probably in memory of one of the operators of the show, who had a full beard. Napoleonic France's libertine's morals, distracted by this, now makes her a sexual object. People now pay to see her naked, touch her, and this to entertain social fairs, cabarets, etc. The demands being more and more numerous, she's made a prostitute. How to keep her subdued and to control her? Alcohol. They drown her in it. As a last resurgence of the force that has always animated her, she refuses to reveal her genitalia, that famous part of her body that will earn the name of Hotentot in France. This refusal will annoy Cuvier at the highest point. Cuvier will personally take charge of her autopsy and then obtain the approval of the highest authorities to recover a body in order to satisfy his ultimate ambition: dissect a body in the name of the progress of human knowledge. Suddenly, the one who, by all accounts, had a remarkable musical ear, who spoke 3 languages, including French, which is learned in a single year, and who had the audacity to say no, had lost whole humanity in his eyes. Her story could have stopped there, dehumanized and forgotten, if a people had not mobilized around one of theirs, around a common past, human and ancestral values. This legitimate demand, supported by Nelson Mandela, Nobel Peace Prize winner, strong and charismatic South African head of state, and important African leader, faced a refusal from the authorities and the French scientific world in the name of the inalienable heritage of states and science. Meanwhile, random timing or not, her statue and skeleton came out of the reserves where they had been stored since 1974 to be again exposed to the public. From there, the Khoikhoi, South African citizen and artistic mobilization took off and did not falter. Diplomatic steps multiply until a special law of restitution was passed on March 6, 2002 in France, officializing the return of the remains to South Africa. After 8 years of fierce procedures, after 187 years of waiting, scarified, buried in the customs of Khoikhoi, in the presence of high dignitaries and President Thabo Mbeki, it took the awakening of an entire people driven by respect for its indigenous values, self-esteem, and knowledge of its history to allow our grandmother to become an ancestor. It is on us from now on to remember her every December 29th, the day of her death, as she now walks with the ancestors. Swatche.